Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about posterior interosseous nerve. It is the chief nerve of the back of the forearm. It is a branch of the radial nerve given off in the cubital fossa just below the level of lateral epicondyle of the humerus. So this is the right cubital fossa and here we have our radial nerve, and just below the level of lateral epicondyle it gives a deep branch otherwise called the posterior interosseous nerve. Its course. So it begins in the cubital fossa, passes through the supinator muscle to reach the back of the forearm where it descends downwards. It ends in a pseudoganglion in the fourth compartment of the extensor retinaculum. So this is the supinator. Emerging in the cubital fossa, it passes through the supinator muscle and reach the back of the forearm. Here it descends downwards and it ends in the pseudoganglion in the fourth compartment of the extensor retinaculum. So this is the pseudoganglion in the fourth compartment of the extensor retinaculum. So the extensor retinaculum is a thickening of the deep fascia on the posterior aspect of the wrist. Many septa arising from this retinacula and are attached to the longitudinal ridges on the posterior surface of the lower part of the radius. This forms 6 osteofacial compartments. In the fourth compartment, we have two tendons, one artery, one nerve. The two tendons are of the extensor digitorum and the extensor indicis. And the artery is the anterior interosseous artery and the nerve is this posterior interosseous nerve. So coming to its relations. The relations and course are more or less same. So the posterior interosseous nerve leaves the cubital fossa and enters the back of the forearm by passing between the two planes of fibers of the supinator. Within the muscle, it winds backwards around the lateral side of the radius. Okay. Now it emerges from the supinator to reach the back of the forearm. Here it lies between the superficial set of muscles and the deep muscles at the lower border of the extensor pollicis brevis. So this is the extensor pollicis brevis. At its lower border, it runs deep to the extensor pollicis longus. So it runs like this. Then it runs on the posterior surface of the interosseous membrane. Okay. So here we have the interosseous membrane in between the radius and the ulna. Okay, so it runs on the posterior surface of the interosseous membrane up to the wrist, where it enlarges into a pseudoganglion and ends by supplying the wrist and the intercarpal joints. That is the relations. Now the branches. It gives muscular branches, articular branches and sensory branches. Okay. So here the muscular branches, we are studying it under three categories. One, before piercing the supinator, while passing through the supinator and after emerging from the supinator. So before piercing supinator, it gives branches to the extensor carpi radialis brevis and one branch to the supinator. While passing through the supinator, it gives another branch to the supinator. And after emerging from the supinator, the nerve gives 3 short branches and 2 long branches. Okay. So, it gives short branches as well as long branches. The short branches are given to the extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi and the extensor carpi ulnaris. So, if you are thorough with the extensor retinaculum, extensor carpi ulnaris is the tendon present in the 6th compartment and this one in the 5th compartment and this in the 4th compartment. So, this is a way to remember actually the 6th compartment, 5th compartment, 4th compartment. In the long branches, the medial branch, one is given to the extensor indicis, which is the another tendon that is present in the 4th compartment, and another branch to the extensor pollicis longus This is one muscle which forms the posterior boundary of the anatomical snuff box. Okay, and the lateral branches are given to the two muscles which forms the anterior boundary of the anatomical snuff box, that is the abductor pollicis longus and the extensor pollicis brevis. So these are the muscular branches. Now the articular branches. The articular branches are given to the wrist joint, to the intercarpal joints, intermetacarpal joints and the inferior radioulnar joints. Okay, so there is joint, inferior radioulnar joint, intercarpal joints and the intermetacarpal joints. Now the sensory branches, they are given to the interosseous membrane, then to the radius and to the ulna. So this is all about the posterior interosseous nerve. We discussed its course, relations and branches. Hope you understood and thanks for watching.